People came in from outside and they're going to tell you what to do with what you have here. You know, give me a break. And they wanted to encompass a huge area. We, of course, objected. The whole idea of a sanctuary, that I think the sanctuary term, to this day, I don't think it's the best term for what the National Marine Sanctuaries are about, because to me, a sanctuary means keep out. Were we going to be restricted in any way diving any of these wrecks? And if so, was it going to cost us money? And what if we found a new one? Who's going to take ownership of it, so as to speak, when in reality it was ours to dive anyway, because that's just the point of view we had with it? Yeah, we were pretty vocal in terms of telling NOAA to go home. Thunder Bay is appropriately named. If you try to do the charter operation like I did, kind of get divers out, I really only figure I have about 12 weekends. So when it's on, and you better go. And then with Thunder Bay shaped the way it is, it just kind of collects a lot of nastiness. And that's one of the reasons I think ships are where they're at out here, you know, because they ran into fog, they ran into everything, and you've got a collision. So I think it's earned its name, and it will continue to earn its name, I think. Well, right now this morning we're getting things ready to go out and remove buoys off the shallow water wrecks that are down in the calcite area. Those are buoys that a couple of us volunteer to remove and put back on every year for the sanctuary to help out with the manpower deal. Philosophical reason why we have the buoys on there is to protect the wrecks so people aren't throwing anchors into them and snagging them. Okay, we are off to Rogers City Boat Harbor. I'll launch this thing and see if it wants to run one of the prettier harbors.
Ready, Cap?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
There, put this hook in that chain low. That's guaranteed to stay. There we go. In the spring, we'll dive down there, find that little floaty thing in the chain, and just redo the reverse of what we just did. One of our primary reasons to go diving was to bring back some artifacts if we found them, or at least some lumber, and make furniture, and it was all legal to do that. We found a few wrecks. We refound some wrecks that other divers had talked about, and then you threw a hook over the side or a diver over the side and see if you had something or not. Northwestern is a shipwreck about 5 to 7 miles off Rogers City. A friend of mine, John Viglin, who is a good diving buddy of mine also, he was fishing and he found this wreck. He gave me his approximate coordinates and then got a friend of mine, Kurt Smitget, to come up, and the two of us made the first dive on the wreck. It had a lot of pottery on it, a lot of great stuff, and it disappeared one day. Those kinds of experiences for me over the years, to see that stuff missing, it was amazing how fewer people wanted to dive that wreck once those artifacts were gone. It just takes away from a lot of what a dive is all about. There's a lot of people out there that just crave that kind of stuff, you know. When the law changed, I changed. And my feeling is it should be in a place like this.
So one of the great things about our visitor center, and you'd probably agree with me, is that it's bringing the bottom of the lake up to the general public. So people get to come here, learn about the artifacts, and even for people who can't scuba dive or snorkel or kayak over the wrecks, they get to enjoy these wonderful resources.
Divers are a minority, and this is a way that we've kind of recaptured this whole maritime theme that's in Northeast Michigan.
We get thousands of kids from all over Michigan a year coming through here.
I thought it was pretty amazing that just the fact that I had been fairly vocal in objecting to the sanctuary, that they allowed for me to be part of the advisory council.
The opposition has been included in this process, and the realization now is that, and I'm probably a pretty good example of the fact that your opposition can become your strongest supporter.
It is a popular tourist type thing with lighthouses and ships and all that. It's just a natural attraction we've had with the water ever since we're on this earth, you know. But there's a greater thing that's happening in an effort to create that tourism that I see, and that is that people are getting together, that we are recapturing that history, that we are unifying and going to unify these three counties. Yes, in a goal to attract tourism, but at the same time, we're going to see each other in a little bit different light.
That's one of the things about the sanctuary program, is that it's about the landscape that we're protecting and the culture of these areas, and you know, the lakes are one thing. The Great Lakes are one giant thing.
There's a lot of wrecks out here that haven't been found yet. Wrecks that people are looking for, you know, and very significant wrecks, I think. That'll be neat when we do find them. I'm trying to find a couple of little wrecks, at least I hope to. Trying to start a new stage in my retirement. Maybe you have a particular wreck that you want to go out there and look for. Probably what's going to happen is you're going to find something you weren't looking for before you find what you are looking for. So you don't know what you're going to find. You know, you get the clues and try to do the best you can. One of my favorite things to do on any wreck that has some kind of an intact bow is to go down the bow to the bottom, stand on the bottom some distance away, and just let it run you over. Now this is going to become part of the sanctuary. The sanctuary ends way up that way at the end, the northern end of Presque County, and goes all the way over to the international border between the United States and Canada. So basically, as far as you can see in any direction right now, you are within the boundaries of the sanctuary. So it's an excellent feeling.